All right, hello everyone. Here it is, time for some more Wotv videos. Going to be recording quite a few all at once and uploading them in turn. So today we're going to be looking at the JP update, which does have a couple of things. There's going to be one or two things I'm going to leave out for a separate video just to try and keep the video lengths a little bit shorter, a little more digestible. And it is October now, which is known on parts of the internet as Spooky Month. At other places, it's just known as a month. That's a stupid joke. But anyway, so to keep in flavor of spookiness this year, I've decided to not, dress up or do anything like that. I've decided to keep on screen at all times one of the scariest things to Wotv players, the Brown Book. Please enjoy it. Please run and scream from it. And let's talk about today's update. So yes, there are a bunch of job updates, and those are going to be relevant when we are talking uh, about that in the next video. But there is quite a few of them, and how relevant they are is also part of this discussion. So that's being left for a different video. Let's start off first with the new vision card. So the new vision card is kind of an oddity. I mean, there really isn't too terribly many vision cards that have reaction block. As a matter of fact, I think this is the first. It's definitely the first job-based vision card to have reaction block on it. And that makes it interesting. It makes it interesting for, like, for instance, what teams, what units, how this will be good. Because there are a lot of good reaction commands nowadays. Most of them are unique reaction commands. Like, for example, Glassy with Reflex, or, well, I guess that's a little less. Anyway, there are some really, really powerful reactions that can mess up how you think things will go. And this does work in turn with Pyrene. Pyrene, I think I said incorrectly in a previous video, but nobody caught it. So technically it's fine if I'm correcting it. Her reaction block, now she doesn't get any off of her weapon. That was my mistake. If I ever did say that, if I didn't say that, keep pretending everything's okay. But she has 20% of reaction block on just her master ability. And now this vision card has 48. Together, that ends up being a lot of reaction block. Just always available to her. And there is other places where you can get reaction block from TMR runes, which I think you almost always definitely want to run on strong units just to make them stronger. So this vision card, you're looking at 28 strike attack, which is slightly lower than Tifa's 35. But considering that this is a secondary effect, 28 is still pretty strong. Reaction block of 48 is weird, just because why 48? Why not go the full 50? Are they afraid of just making it too easy to hit 100%? Whatever reason, I find it very strange that this just has access to 48. It's just a weird number. 28 or 25% max HP is probably pretty decent. For just a maxing out part of the vision card. And honestly, some of the units that would be benefiting from this already have high HP anyway, so you don't want to go too far. And attack and range attack 10 of each. Because when you look at how this card and Pyrene and Fist cards have been balanced, like Snow, not necessarily the best DPS by any, actually not the best DPS at all, but for a tank who is incredibly hard to kill and one of the top units for many months now, Snow with any extra damage is more of a threat than he previously was, and strike attack hasn't and won't probably be accessible in many other places than this. So yeah, if they went a little bit too far on strike attack, strike could easily become a problem. It's probably a good idea to be safe. But is this vision card a must-have? For Pyrene and Snow, using them in combination with each other, I think that it probably will be. How Lucio fits into this, and whether you want him over Alaya or the eventual Rafu, who seems to be hinted that will also synergize with this card, I don't exactly know. Excuse me. But there is a lot of potential for this vision card to be absolutely insane into the future. It's just, it's not a limited time one. There's anniversary coming up, which probably means, you know, select the banners and all of that. So going 100% on this vision card just might not necessarily be worth it early on. Upon further reflection, it seems like a strong vision card, especially when you consider that Perrine is pretty damn good at dealing damage. It just effectively makes her stronger. But overall, whether it's really worth it, the unit combination doesn't feel quite as strong yet. But just taking a look one more time, at this vision card, because I do want to talk about it in depth. Even if you look at getting some synergy towards strong units such as Queen Macherie, Sadali, Lightning, or Raldor, there's a lot, or Noctis. There actually is a bunch of weird combinations here that you could combine multiple different units with and still not really lose that much out of, while still getting a pretty big benefit of potentially just blocking all your opponent's reactions. So yeah, this vision card is interesting. Whether it's a slam dunk, I don't put it like that, but there you go. All right, continuing on, we have the Halloween units returning to JP with a couple of special benefits. First of all, a 9-step free Lapis TMR, where it costs 1,800 to complete, but at the end, step 9, you get a unit of Halloween of your choice, one of the 3 old ones. Lucia will be probably the following week, but taking a look at this and these 3 here, you'll also get 120 shards going up, along with a bunch of other benefits, rewards, and potentially the chance of getting even more units in here. But is this necessarily worth it? If you like the Halloween units, or you currently have a Halloween unit you're trying to build, could do a heck of a lot worse, and you could probably pick up another one. As for whether this is the best value, free Lapis giving a unit selector of your choice is pretty tempting, probably, for a lot of people. As for our vision cards, both of the vision cards return here, and you'll be able to get them, one of them with free Lapis as well, which is, you know, pretty decent. There's also a paid option. Now, interestingly, the paid option on JP gives you 3 URs as you go up, with the highest one giving a total, or costing, or 6,000 Lapis cost total. But the big thing here, it's a random unit, so you don't get to choose, which feels a little crappy for, you know, being paid and a bunch of old units. If the free ones select the one you want, even if this is 99, I still feel like they should have just let people use them. So without looking at the job updates, I'll give my theories about how good those will be later. We do have the master ability 2s for these units. So we'll start off with Halloween Leela. The Woo gang, please stand up. So magical power plus 20% and mental penetration plus 20 feels like a pretty strong upgrade. I mean, this unit is already currently being used, and with good intention, because she is really good. Even to this day, and limited cost is always a factor. But yeah, just upping her damage, and I mean, she was already doing everything else really well, so what's there to say? A good unit gets even better in a great element. So yeah, good combination for her. I mean, they could have given her probably plus 5% magic and it still would have been good enough, but this is fair. All right. Next up is Halloween Raryu, who gets his own HP limit up by 10%, magical power up by 15%, defense by 15%, and HP consumption down by 20% when his HP is less than 70%. Interesting. Cutting the cost is generally probably pretty good. I don't really know if there's anything that is super high AP cost that he would want to run. I mean, just the AP consumption down is a benefit, but whether or not it's worth it, don't know. Defense up, magical power up, and HP up are all great. And I mean, just, he does need something to activate this, but the fact that he does have Hazard Slash, even though it has been recently tweaked through JP job updates to be better and less HP consuming, this is not a hard thing to hit and is fairly easy to go. I still don't think that Halloween Raryu in the overall meta is as important as probably his TMR. TMR, you know, just putting auto re-raise on any character in the game or giving them access to another cast is always going to be valuable. So Halloween Ryu probably gets just a big old pass because he was, I mean, the TMR alone is worth it. But do I think that this unit is going to change the meta? Not with Wind as it currently is, and he is not there. So not a meta shifter. Next up is Halloween Frederica, and Halloween Fred came out last year. Didn't really feel like made a big splash. And neither did Schnack, who was the second fencer to come out. All right, so this time she's getting slash attack resistance penetration plus 20. Both her and Halloween Leela do get job upgrades, but again, leaving those for later. Earth attack up by 15, attack by 15, and evasion by 5. All of this is generally good, but, and as pointed out by a shout out to Odaiba, Odaiba Diver, who does a lot of translation work for the community and is an absolutely awesome human being, evasion is used in quite high guild war, probably to, you know, vary up teams and whatnot. But overall, I am a staunch defender that evasion is not what it used to be. It's not the be all and end all, where if you don't have evasion, everything just feels bad. Yeah, Frederica, honestly, looking at her, oh, sorry, that was her old level 41. I read the wrong one. Tired. Okay, slash attack resistance penetration plus 20. We're giving you the full amount, or everything for your money. Healing power plus 15, and single attack resistance of 40 when her HP is 70% higher. Overall, I don't feel as crazy about this as some other units. I'm not even sure about the HP regeneration, whether it's really valuable. Halloween Frederica has seen very little play over the last year on some Earth teams, but you look at Queen Mashery and Oberon and Ketone, is that really going to be replaced by Fred? I don't think so. So yeah, Fred is probably the one I give the least to, but I feel like I'm missing the point on the healing power one. I'm just bringing this up. I mean, she has a lot of single target resistance, but that doesn't protect her against AoEs. There's lots of sure hit out there. And yeah, she does have an absorb 30% damage being done on a single target. Not the highest mod, but it is a multi-hit. I don't know. I think that she's not. I would still put her. Here's the thing. In terms of here's the thing. In terms of these three units, I would say that overall the best is still Halloween Leela, but her element does go a long way to pushing her to being one of the best. If her element had been not so good, I mean, I've fought her quite a bit in Arena, and most of the time it's a dead sure win with ice. So I'm not that, but I do think that she is the best of them. As for the best TMR, it's definitely this, and Frederica is somewhere in between both of these units, it feels like. That's my overall feelings, just looking at the numbers and how I've seen them over the last year. The master abilities are all nice in their own right, but I don't think that it will really change much, as it's just generally nice boosts for all of the units, and I think the ranking between all of these is... So now, let's talk about the one other unit to get a master ability too, because we've talked about the Halloween unit enough, and this music is starting to drive me nuts. So HP and water attack, tribute attack for allies goes up for this unit with her new master ability too. As other than that, she will also get own area attack resistance plus 5, healing power plus 20, and hate down of 3. Kind of pushing her more to be a support unit, which is generally what I think. And honestly, this unit still does see some play, although I think recently I've seen a few more Aeriths than I've seen Hilderas in Arena. And not that that was too anyway, but an okay upgrade for kind of what has become a healer support unit. if you're looking for DPS, there's lots of other great DPSs in the water category right now. So yeah. All right, so what else are we looking at for the JP side? Well, a whole bunch of boosted rates for potentially farming this week. Not really seeing much other than the return of these as the raid revival is back. And just some double rates across the board to keep us entertained and get to the 3rd anniversary. As we look with the Guild Raid and the Guild Revival shop, these have come back looking pretty much the exact same. Here I will just scroll through a little bit carefully so people can peek and see what is available this time with 2 new 6-star versions of raid pieces of equipment. First of all, Elf Cloak is and has gotten a 6-star version, and so has this winter coat. So 2 definitive nice little boosts for pieces of equipment. And I don't know if I actually have the list of where they or what they are, because I have used one of these thus far, which is the magic coat, because I actually had enough resources to just do it right away. Here are the stats, as you can see: overall boost and magic plus 30%, and magic human killer plus 10, which is not nothing, and that is probably one of the nicer boosts. And since I have not used it quite yet, yes, of course, it's Umbra. All right, so here I believe that the resistances have just gotten higher on this, and of course a little bit of a stat boost for its +6 version. Just to check what those are for people not aware, as I have just too much video and not enough. Shoutouts to the guy who posted that editing is for the week. Piercing attack resistance, that's correct, as well as confusion resistance on now. And since I don't have it fully maxed, I can't say the value, but you know, raid pieces of equipment are usually pretty good, so you'll that anyway. So yeah, that's pretty much it. For the next video, I'll be talking about the job upgrades. Not only that, we'll also be taking a look in a separate video about what the level 10 versions look like this time for guild raid, so stay tuned for that. But thank you so much for watching and continued support as we keep going through spooky month. And as a bonus to people at the end of this video who made it all the way through to the end, I was gonna say something. I forgot. Yeah, it's just being me. See ya.